Okay, today is December 29th, 2023. Okay. Well, today was bad this morning. It was bad this morning. Um, and then followed again. And I started doing my statements and they sold the login. Um, and they have not only sold the login in my case, but the FBI agent will, in my case, sold the login to mine. The Mexican drug cartel, it's on Google, has hacked the government database and live streaming the people they're trying to protect from. He sold out a bunch of informants, witness protection programs. Okay. And I'm not the only one where I reported it years ago. He was doing it to me. Uh, they're now into a lot of cases. Okay. Live streaming. Okay. Um, so I'm rambling through everything. And I said, you do realize, even on the recorded line, when I tell that agent somebody told on me the night before, he calls me a liar. It was verified by the Norton Barberton police. It was him. Dave told Danny he talked to him. With his own confession, he talks to everyone. Okay. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Triangle. You liar. Okay. I tell him that he tried to kidnap me. You liar. He was so wicked and evil on that recorded line. And until you listen to it, it's not even funny. Was there a camera by the bunch? I don't know. Then you say you're a liar and I'll put you in jail. I said he tried to kidnap me before. You liar. Well, I also left off part of what he said to me. He said, I already know what they're doing. And they're doing this. I've been trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick before. What did you expect them to do? I said, I was really sick before. He said, I've already talked to those church people. He said, what did you expect them to do? I said, I really was sick before. I said, and he did try to kill me, or try to kidnap me. And he said, oh, as if it really happened. I said, it did. He said, even if one of those church people seen it, they wouldn't even back you. They wouldn't even testify again for you. I said, what? He said, now would they, with you faking you were sick before? Now, was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. You say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. And I said, I don't know. Then I say it or I'll arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. He starts laughing at me. He already dismembered, he's the M13 drug cartel serial killer. Huh? And he already dismembered my coworker Lori's family member, went on to take my house manager and release his niece, and he's one of the kidnappers for him. That's who he let go. Okay? There's badgering laws, Department of Justice 1729. You cannot talk to somebody like that. You go to jail. They're to take your statement if they believe you or not and follow through, or it's obstruction, tampering with witnesses, and evidence. That's exactly what he did. His job was to listen to me and go find out who that guy was that threatened to knife me. Okay? He, and to feed into religious heresy is asinine. Asinine. And it's just religious heresy. Um, let's see. He's like, no, I want you to say you're faking you're sick before. I said, I really was sick. He's like, you either say it or I'll leave you there. I said, they've tried to kill me. So I've had that family in my office. The one that her father killed her kid. And it's 15 years later and me and my whole family is at home. Huh? But her father killed her kid. Do you realize? And he ran a stop sign into a semi. Do you know where Brian showed up and said everybody was running late for the church baseball game and he was the lead car and he just blew through that stop sign into a semi, killed them both. Phil wasn't even showable. Tyler got ejected. Do you realize how fast he was speeding for it to blow poof, like that? Do you realize how fast he was going? Not just to crinkle the car and crush it, but to like blow it up. Huh? And he was in pieces and they had to put him in a body bag. How fast was he going? In that arrogant, stupid stunt of speeding and blowing through a stop sign with his grandson in the car. How shame! He's the one that murdered their son. I had nothing to do with it. Me and my family are at home. I had went through 6 to 10 surgeries. They call it overcare now. I was at a client's house, and it came on the news, and they said they've got a real problem with overcare anymore. And they said these people that have really good insurance, they're sending them to doctors they don't need to go. They are falsely diagnosing them, giving the wrong medications, making them sick, and then wanting to do unnecessary procedures. And they're getting what they call overcare. See, they called it medical malpractice in 2002. See, I had 6 to 10 surgeries over a 2.5 year span. My muscles all locked up because I had so much trauma to my stomach and back. Went to the wrong doctors, falsely diagnosed me. My feet swelled from all the way up my legs. My knees are popping out of place. My thyroid shut down. My adrenal gland shut down. My heart got off. My thyroid quit working. My adrenal gland quit working. My brain started swelling. They told me I had brain tumors. I needed a colostomy bag. Dear God, they wouldn't cut part of my brain out. And I went to my doctor, and my legs I was so huge and swollen, and I couldn't hardly see from the brain swelling. I was I thought I was probably months from death from the medical malpractice. I asked the doctor what she thought of it, and she said, whoa, there's nothing wrong with you. What these doctors are doing, you have the golden ticket insurance company. They are falsely diagnosing you, writing out big prescriptions, getting kickback from the drug companies from $200 to $1,000. And for false prescription, sharing them with their associates and friends. They're doing the same thing. And now they're wanting to do unnecessary procedures. You get off the medication, you'll be fine. You need to get an attorney and sue them for almost killing you. Okay? And then Joanne told me about Dr. Eli, get you on high doses of pain medicine, get you out moving, you get better. He said the same thing. I get you off that medication, be surprised how fast you get well. But I got to get you out enough pain to actually move those locked, hard muscles. And as you move in blood flow, get into them, then they'll loosen up, and then we can build new muscle tissue. The only thing that's wrong with you is your muscles locked up. Everything else is chemically induced. There's nothing wrong with you, but your muscles locked up from all those surgeries. They were too close together. You didn't have time to heal. Okay? So the first month I lost 30 pounds. By the second month, I'm pulling myself around stores and malls with canes and braces because my legs are so swollen, my knees are popping out place. And I ended up in the hospital the second month. Third month, it stopped happening. I could drive a car. Brain swelling left right away. Heart started beating fine. Thyroid, adrenal gland, everything started working once I got off that medication. And the only thing I needed to do was learn to walk again and wait for the swelling to go down. And it took me 9 months. By November, when I started with Dr. Eli, by April, I was down from a 24 to 16. That's why I have like all this extra skin. It's gross, but I have it because I was so big. I deflated like a balloon. Uh, and by February, Dr. Eli wanted me to go out and get 2-pound braces, 2-pound weights, put them on my legs, and start walking around with 2-pound weights. He's crazy. My muscles were locked up. You want to put weights on them? You know, I had to do home physical therapy at my own pace. I went into a couple physical therapists, and they pushed me so hard my muscles would start spasming me real hard again. And where I did it at home, I could do it at my own pace. And when it got too much, I just sat down. And I had all that swelling to deal with and everything else. Okay. So, and I'm almost well in April. And then May 3rd, 2003, Brian Laney showed up and he told us, he knocked on the door, we're all at home, that Bill and Tyler got killed. Okay. And he said, I said, well, how? And he said he blew through, he was a lead car, blew it late for a church baseball game, blew through that stop sign into a semi. He didn't even try to stop. Nobody couldn't believe he wouldn't even try to stop. Do you realize he had to be speeding at a very high rate? They said it blew up his vehicle. Tyler got ejected. Phil wasn't showable. He was in a body bag in pieces. His car didn't just get crushed. It was a poof. That's how he was speeding and ran a stop sign with his grandkid in the car. So who ruined their life? Phil did. Did I have anything to do with it? No. Did they have anything to do with what happened to me? No. Okay, that's May 3rd, 2003. And I'm already walking around outside with just braces. When I went out, I always made sure I had both so I wouldn't fall. Because, if you fall at the house, at home, I would just walk around with nothing. I've been walking around with nothing for months. Okay? And if I fall after 4, 10 steps, 6 steps, you crawl over and pull something up, pull up on a couch or something, or if you just catch yourself on the wall and learn to balance and learn to walk again. And I had to learn to walk on numb feet. And come July, I'm down to just canes. The swelling's almost completely all gone. And I'm down to like a 14, 16. I'm so much better. I've even cut using how many fentanyl patches I was using a day. Okay. A missionary shows up by chance, and he gives me a lecture, a stupid one. I want you to fight through the pain. I want you to rebuke the pain. I've been doing that for 9 months. Eli's actually getting mad. I had a lady running on a treadmill in 9 months, and you're just learning to walk. Well, she didn't have all that swelling. Everybody gets swelled at their own pace, because the only thing was wrong with me, my muscles locked up, but I was also swelled up like an Oompa Loompa. And then I had to wait for all the brain swelling go down, my heart start working, everything. I had so much going on from medical malpractice, it wasn't even funny. They almost killed me. Doctor encouraged Dave and I to sue them for 2 years. Okay? And well, that missionary said, I want you to try to walk by faith. Now, he's a long-winded minister. I sat in the same place for 2 hours. I went to stand and I fell backwards left with my canes. 4 more days later, it went into remission. Fibromyalgia goes into remission 80% of the time. Okay? All right. 80%. It's just a pain syndrome of your muscles locking up. You just got to get enough blood flow into them, rebuild them, and they stop spasming. That was the only thing wrong with me, was my muscles locked up. Everything else was medically induced by wrong medications. They almost killed me. The overcare. They called it medical malpractice. Get an attorney and sue them. They almost killed you. Encouraged for 2 years. It's documented medication errors. Documented medical malpractice. Okay? Now, I still fell for 2 more months, and it took me 4 months to get off the fentanyl patches. Come November, my sister Linda's married to Strange's son, that minister's son, and she caught him out with this girl, Katie. She starts following him around there, cheating, had my mom following my sister. Well, she comes up to me in November of 2003, and at church she said I was following him again. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful, runs off. Well, the stranger made up that shitty lie. Oh, you were faking through all that. Do you realize that was a 4-year span? 2.5 years of surgeries. It was within 8 or 9 months, I gained 150 pounds. It was over a year with those doctors. They had almost killed me. Then 9 months of getting well, slowly. So where I have scars all over, MRI reports showing the swelling, blood work showing everything shut down. I have documents showing they said I have pituitary tumors. Well, where did they go? I didn't have chemo. I didn't have my pituitary gland removed. I didn't have no tumors removed. So where'd they go? They weren't there. I had brain swelling from the wrong meds. They were lying. They were wanting to cut part of my brain out. Okay? Thank God I didn't let him. Thank God that other doctor told on him. Okay? Strange made up that shitty lie of you were faking when you were sick. No, I wasn't. And it's such a shitty lie. It's like, where you been for 4 years? Everybody watched me go through all those surgeries. Everybody watched me go from 105 pounds to 250 pounds or more. Okay? And within 8 months, I was swollen that big. Okay? And everybody watched over 9 months of me deflating like a balloon and pulling myself up and down stores, malls, driving my own car since February, slowly getting well in front of him. He made up that shitty lie to get rid of me. Why? Because he thought he caught his son in adultery. A minister made it up. That's it. A minister made up a lie in 2003 on me. See, I was telling somebody about the other day. He said, why would that agent even mention that to you? It wouldn't even make sense. Why would he even go along with any of it? See, even other people, it's insanity. It's religious heresy. It takes brainwashed, mindless boobs. Now, that family that's involved is supposed to have paid for the 25 grand to have me murdered because Strange lied on me. Why would he could have told him I was a stripper, bank robber? Did it affect her father murdering her kid? Who murdered her kid? Her father did. Had nothing to do with him saying, oh, you're faking through that. That's stupid and babyish. And it's like they don't have a brain cell to see what they've seen with their own eyes. They're that fucking stupid. They actually are. Now, for a federal police officer to behave this way, now we'll get back to that. I told you, he told on me where I called the hotline. They drugged me up so bad I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. On the 4th day, I made myself get up, and I'm sitting on the front porch. What's wrong with me? I feel drunk, and I don't drink. It's a sign of a roofie wearing off. Got enough air in my face. Call one of my witnesses. She's, of course, I'll witness for you. Because they were leaving threats in the mall. It was them trying to have me killed. I had 4 attempts. Okay, with 3 people. And so I go out where he had left a message in a voicemail. I buy a car, put that agent's number in it, make an excuse, go down to the mall, drop it off, go up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Paymer got in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent. My office is right there. And I walk off and he's screaming at him about him. And he had told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care. Women were following me around saying it because they wanted me to hear it. They said if she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well, that family will grieving. I can't even say it straight. It just like chokes you. It's so moronics and low IQ. That family, who killed their kid? Her father did. So they just want to murder people? I don't even go to their fucking church for years. And they should hunt me down 15 years because some bastard lied on me? I don't even go to their church. I have nothing to do with them. And they wait 15 years to fucking hunt me down because their fucking pastor trying to cover up his son's fucking adultery makes up a shitty lie to get rid of me, and they want to kill me for it 15 years later? See, that's where people said they made up an excuse to kill her. They just made up an excuse. Exactly. Now, I want you to think about that agent, what he said. Him going along with any of this shit or anybody else, and then you think about how mentally ill that family is. They're just wanting to kill somebody because their father killed their kid. And they're not dealing with it, and they're wanting to just lash out and murder people. And trying to pick a victim that had nothing to do with it. Think about that. So that agent, like I said, I told him someone told him, he calls me a liar. Then I told him that guy threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. And he calls me a liar. And was there a camera footage? I don't know. And he's like, you either say you're lying or arrested. He's like, I know what's going on. He said, I've talked to all those church people. They've been trying to have you killed because of you were faking you were sick before. I said, I was really sick before. And I said, he's tried to kidnap me before. You liar. And I went to say, well, Terry's seen him. But he's like, even if it did happen, not like one person in that church would back that they've seen it. I've talked to all of them. And they all hate you for you faking you were sick before. And what did you expect? I told you, you listen to the recorded line. He confesses to talking to everyone. I've had that family in my office that lost their kid. Oh, where her father was speeding, ran a stop sign into a semi and killed him. The people that think they can pay 25 grand to have me murdered because they just want to kill somebody because they're so full of hurt inside, they just want to murder people. that have nothing to do with it? Those people? You didn't arrest him? You didn't arrest him? Do your damn job and arrest him? No, you want to take it out on a victim. That they have been drug, beating, raping, and assault. Huh? You want to take it out on a victim. And he's like, I have talked to that family in my office. I've had those church people in here. And what did you expect? He said, now you either, and first he does, you either say you're lying or I'll put you in jail and da-da-da about that guy. And then laughs at me. He said, and then it goes into, I've had that church people in my office, that family, and how you ruined their lives. Did I ruin their life? Hell no. Strange making a baby lie up on me, trying to discredit me, get rid of me real quick, because he thought I caught his son in adultery. Did it have anything to do with her father murdering her son by speeding and running a stop sign? No. So who ruined her life? Her father did. And taking all their hurt and pain and putting it on me is insanity and pure Satanistic evil. He's confessed that he's talked to all the church people, that family, and he even knew why they were trying to kill me. And he tried to say he didn't blame them. Listen to the recorded line. It's not funny. It's like Satanistic evil for a federal police officer to a sworn duty to protect people and uphold the Constitution, to take it out on a victim that some occult's trying to murder. Okay? Now, and then he goes, why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they're going to try to kill me. So it's a sworn duty. Foreign and domestic terrorism. Uphold the Constitution. Give me a real reason why we should help you. Well, they've tried to kill me. So. Well, another agent yells out, well, we could use Pete's tape. Oh, weird. And I don't even know who Pete is. I found out it was my ex-husband's girlfriend's father that had been stalking me and in a sextortion act, been taping my whole family using the bathroom, even obtained and dispensed kitty porn of my little kids, grandkids going potty, sold me on porn sites showering and go in the bathroom, and apparently in a sextortion act, photoshopped washing in an asinine stunt, thinking he's funny, and where I was waking up with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, and a severe personal infection. I actually thought I had cancer. I'm seen by Altman family physicians all summer of 2018. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't even know where these marks come from. My muscles are killing me. And they're like, well, maybe you're common anemic. We'll get you some iron pills. We'll get you some muscle rocks. My personal area is so swollen. I know we went from regular water to well water. I don't know if it's eating my skin. I had to be on pills and creams. Here I'm being drug beaten, raped. My head's pounding. I've been throwing up. I almost passed out. Here they're roofing the hell out of me, telling me to say stuff so you're sleepwalking, and beating the hell out of me under drugs. And he's making fun of the victim that's being framed by the drug cartel. Okay? And they're part of the M13 drug cartel, Mexican drug cartel. And he's like, well, we could, and he's like, stop. She don't know. He's laughing with that other agent, mocking me. And I don't even know who the fuck they're talking about for a year. The only Pete I know is my brother in Medina. I've still never talked to him. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And was something supposed to be a refree confession. Okay? Where I was having all those marks and getting sick and everything. So, and I'm like, what is he talking about? Because I've never talked to him. And he's laughing at me. Stop. She don't know. Give me a real reason. Well, my brother-in-law, Craig, died working for the government. I tell him about it. When he takes an offers to leave me somewhere. Now, he's already confessed. Dave told Danny he hired Pete on his own. His girlfriend's dad. To drug, beat, and rape me. And to frame me. In the Mexican drug cartel. He hired him on his own. A sextortion act. Hired him on his own. Okay? Okay, once I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig, he offers to take me somewhere and leave me. I have no money. I have no money to start. Then he offers me the Foreman program, money, immunity for life, even when you tell. I'll make sure nobody touches you. I'll pull you out if it gets too bad, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, now he's already confessed. Dave hired Pete on his own. He's talked to Dave. He's been seen and witnessed by the Norton Barberton police meeting with Dave. He's already confessed he met with the church people and that family. He's talked to everybody before me. After I talked to the hotline. I hadn't even talked to me. I'm not even informed yet. And he's already confessed he talked to everyone. Okay? Then he's like, even when you tell, we'll put it back as if it never happened. And he said, you can't be legally charged for anything for working this case again. And he said, and admit to no wrongdoing, I'll take care of everything, and then you'll have that money to live on when you move out. But if you try to tell someone, I'll list you crazy. And no one will help you and all that. I tell you what, I've told the criminal attorney, the prosecutor's office, police departments, he's only a higher police officer. He don't even have the right to ask you to stay quiet. The only thing legal he did was list you an informant with money immunity. He cannot bully you into false statements. The police know that. And he can't even ask you to stay quiet. He don't have that kind of authority. It's a First Amendment. It takes a sitting judge and a sequestered or grand jury. And I said, well, he's already confessed he talked to everyone. Don't matter. He's only a police officer. He's a federal police officer. That only means he can work anywhere in the United States. He is no higher than a local cop. I went on Google, is FBI over local police? It says no. They're all equal police officers. It's just that they can work anywhere federally. Local works, local sheriffs work in county, state patrol works on state highways. And then you got federal officers that can work anywhere in the United States. That's the FBI, Secret Service, and Marshals. Okay? So he's just a police officer. It takes a judge to put a gag order on you, First Amendment. And that's where last year it was on the news. Another agent tried it with an informal state. They got an attorney and sued him, and the press said, if their agency ever backs one agent ever trying to tell someone they can't say anything, they better shut them down. They don't have that kind of authority. They're just police officers. They're just higher law enforcement. And that's all they are. Well, I told people about it, and including a criminal attorney, he is only a police officer. He didn't have the authority to ask you to stay quiet. And he can't talk to you like that. P couldn't watch you. P can't Photoshop you. He can't break in and drug you. And that agent can't bully you into false statements. And he can't even ask you to stay quiet. And he can't stop the money from coming in. And you get it for working the case. And that's it. And they have to protect you. They can't drop you. Even a criminal attorney told me that. He's been bullshitting people while he's been selling the login. And he's been bullshitting people that he can steal my money. And see, this is where it's, they said in the beginning of the case, people came up and in front of the cops. It's a bet between two gentlemen. Their bets are da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and winner takes all. They're drug lords. They're using her as a pawn. Okay? Pete set up the pawn for the drug lords to fight it out. The breaking in, picking out a victim for them to act like they're mad over everything so no one would tell. Okay? Pete set up the pawn. He's in the M13 drug cartel. They had to have a pawn. The drugs and told to say stuff, the photoshopping and washing. Pete set up the pawn. That's where a week ago Thursday, what was that? The 21st of December of 23. Okay. In Walmart 62, 8, 9 in the morning, a lady some little kid said, Will said we're supposed to yell weird, what, the shower scene in the other room. Mother said, they don't say nothing. Now they tape an audio through the whole store. Said they made everything up on her. Okay? We all know it was those two drug lords fighting it out for control of this area. They were using her as a pawn. We all know that. And they made everything up on her so they could fight in front of people and nobody would say a word and nobody would tell on them. And she didn't know why all those people were saying all those things about her and why all those people were hurting her. And they were doing it so that they could fight in front of people and see who would take over this area. The one drug lord went to jail. And the other guy won. And she was saying that the other drug dealers came back and killed my ex-husband for the men going to jail. Nobody's to say a word to her. See, they told the cops it was just a pawn. This whole thing for those two drug lords to fight it out. People have been talking and people were laughing outside Walmart tonight. Will said that he was helping them and it was nothing but a pawn for those drug dealers to take all over. December 14th, 23 outside McDonald's on North Main, 4:45 p.m. and comes out, screams it out how I came down to make sure Karen got no money. I told Dave I'd set her up, that she would never get a dime. And da 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 da. I heard he took off and da 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 da. And people were slamming on their brakes. Well, this crazy man's confessing. And I'm like clenching in my car. I've been tortured. I have a debt in my head. I've been human trafficked. I've been almost murdered several times. And you're saying you were in it with Dave and set me up? And he's screaming out a whole confession. See, that's where even I had to go to work. And I go to leave, and some tow truck drivers next to my client in North Canton at my second job, they were out there. Nobody thought it was funny. That was last Thursday on December 21st. That agent saying he was in it with Dave and setting her up, and we all knew it was just those two drug dealers using her as a pawn to see who would take over this area, and he wants to say he was helping out and helping Dave and then stealing her money and setting her up, and it was just a pawn for them to fight in front of people? So you see who would take over this? One was a fentanyl king, Iraqi terrorist, and the other one, and I'm telling you, it's either Michael Peterson, Henry Maffei, or where Michael Peterson had ties into Trekasami. They had to have enough finances to bring all the drug cartels here in 17 and 18, finance and all the attack Ohio, and human traffic everything. He had to be equivalent to an Iraqi terrorist, largest fentanyl king in the U.S. And Trekasami would be able to control the Mexican drug cartel and the other ones. And Michael Peterson had ties into them. It's going to come down to, it's one of those of the drug dealers, the other drug lord that was fighting over this area. I'm going to upload this, and that agent owes me that money. He opened a real case with statements, had an officer talk to Dave. It's the only time they can be in your home. Otherwise, it's extortion. This whole thing is nothing but a pawn. And they've told him over and over again since 18.